before we have another February 29th, so I'll start this tape today. I probably won't get too much of it said today because I'm home here alone and, I don't have too much news as I wrote to you yesterday. Our weather is pretty nice. Right now it's 25 or 28 above zero. And the sun is shining, so it's not too bad a day. The other night, I think it was today's Thursday, Tuesday night, we had a real bad windstorm. We don't have much snow. It did snow during the day, just a little bit, half an inch or less. But this terrific wind came up and it blew dirt mixed with snow, and it got so bad you couldn't see a thing outside. Don't know. It started about 9 o'clock, and I just don't know how long it lasted. But when we got up at 7 in the morning, it was still blowing real hard. But by 8 o'clock, it had cleared up, so the kids went to school. But it didn't block the roads. The snow just blew straight off the road. So Dad didn't go out yesterday. He went to Emerito this morning, and just to check up the roads, but there was no snow on them, so he was back home by noon. He is over at Joe's now, helping Joe put some plasterboard on his bathroom wall. It had cracked, and Joe came over here this morning to see if Dad was home, so he could get some help with this. Haven't been doing much of anything. Seems like every day I have to go to town for something, pick up the kids from school or something like that. On Tuesday, I went and picked up Don and took him up to the doctor's office. I told you he had got this cut on his head, which wasn't too bad, but he had got some stitches put in it, and I took him up Tuesday, and they took the stitches out and put a tape on it, and it's healing good, and I'm sure it won't. If it leaves a mark, it'll be just very small. Tonight, Dad and Don are going to the basketball tournaments. These are the tryouts for the tournaments, and instead of having them at Grafton this year, they're having them at the field house, because they just found out this place in Grafton was just too small. People bought tickets and went down there and everything to see the game, and they just couldn't get in. They had to stand outside, so they decided now to have them here at the field house, which I'm sure will be much better. St. James has a very good chance of winning in the tournaments, at least to get in them anyway. They play, the other night they played, I don't know who they played, but anyway, they won. So tonight they play Central. And I think Devils Lake plays Red River. That's, they have another high school here in town. They call it Red River High School. So they'll be in the second game. Really, Central isn't as good as they have been some years, so we have a pretty good chance of beating them. I hope we do anyway. It'd be nice to have St. James in the finals for a change. Every time Dad and Don and I have a spare moment, we've been playing Demon. I don't know, we've been playing Demon for quite a while now. And, I just think sometimes that I shouldn't play it because I always lose. And it's kind of a nerve-wracking game because you really have to have eyes on three sides of your head to see all the cards, unless you're real skilled at it, which I'm sure I'm not. Once in a while I'll get ahead, but then in the final countdown I'm always on the losing side. I only lost by a few points last night, but anyway, I didn't win. Dad wins once in a while, but Donald, he generally wins most of them. But it's kind of fun playing anyway. And, I should say it's a good way to pass time, but I need all my time. I'm always busy doing something. Right now I should be doing my ironing. I washed yesterday. Since Gary left, I only wash once a week, and I really don't have very much ironing to do. This evening is Dad's night to go bowling, but he had got somebody else to bowl with him because he wanted to go to this basketball tournament. We got a letter from Jean yesterday. They're fine. Jean said that this coming weekend, some friends of theirs are going to New Orleans, so Larry will be on alert. So Jean's going to take care of these people, 3 children. She said she'd go over to their house and stay. They have 2 little girls, 4 and 5 years old, and a little boy that's 6. But she said that they're real good kids, so she's sure she wouldn't have any trouble. I suppose she knows them quite well. She said they'd pay $7 a day. She said that last Wednesday they had a snowstorm. They got about 1/4 of an inch of snow, but they closed all the schools down there, and bowling was canceled, and there was several accidents. So she said you can see that people just don't know how to drive when there's a little bit of snow on the ground. Jean was going to get some more feathers last week so she could make herself a dozen roses, but when she went to the gift gallery, she said that they had went out of business, so now she didn't know where she could get any more of these kits to make the roses. We haven't heard any more from Grandpa and Mimi since we called them Monday evening, but yesterday I got a letter from Blanche, but she had wrote that on Sunday, so I didn't hear any more news, more than they had told me on the phone. I'm sure sorry they're both not feeling well. Well, when Mimi is sick, then Grandpa worries a lot, and he takes care of her too, and it's hard on him then taking care of her and doing the housework and the cooking and stuff. He's just barely able to do things for himself. Blanche said she goes over there every day, but really Blanche can't she can't stay over there all the time. She said she'd like to have the folks move back into her house, but they don't like to. And I don't blame them. They have a real nice apartment there, and they're nicer. It's nicer for them to be in their own place by themselves. I hope that Mimi gets her strength back again quick, and Grandpa too, so they'll be able to get along fine. I've got some pictures here, some colored pictures that I'm going to send you. Grandpa and Mimi sent them to us so we could see the inside of their house, and I'll send them to you so you can see how their house looks. And they look nice on it too. I think that Mimi has gotten a lot thinner, but then see, she's on this also diet, and I suppose that's probably why. But they have their house fixed up real nice, I think. Well, Lent started yesterday. I don't know, nowadays you hardly know that it's even Lent. I'm kind of sorry because it doesn't really hurt us to make some sacrifices. But I suppose we'll just be on our own to do it. Father told us that we couldn't eat meat on Friday during Lent, but I'm sure that's not going to hurt us either. On March 14th, it's Grandma Dubuque's birthday. So on Sunday, March 10th, we're going to have a little party for her. We're all going over to Louisa's, and we'll bring a potluck dinner, and we'll have a little get-together. She's been feeling real good this winter. I played that last tape over again last night, that the last one we had got from you, but I just don't know what weeks it was, Larry, that you were going to go back to the hospital in London, so I don't know if you're gone there right now or not. I hope everything turns out fine for you, anyway. How is Scotty and Kim getting along? We just enjoy hearing their voices on this tape. Little Kim laughing and gooing, and she just sounds so sweet, and she is such a cute baby. She looks so nice on the pictures, and I know she's just a little doll. She looks like a little doll. And Scotty, he's such a little sweetheart too. He's really a handsome boy, and we're just so proud of both of them. I'd love to start house cleaning right now when I have a lot of time, but with all this dust and dirt, I just don't dare start. Last week I spent one whole afternoon getting the dirt out from between the windows, and then the other night it all filled in again, so I should clean out these windows, and then I think I'll just have to wait. I'd love to get some painting done. Our living room needs painting, and some patching up here and there with we got some cracks after the house settled, I guess. I want to get some new drapes for the living room. I'll get plain this time instead of flowered. But, I know it's going to be a big job deciding what kind to get and getting them on and everything. So I don't want to wait too late in the spring to start this. I'd love to get this done right now while Dad has extra time, but it's just kind of silly to start, right now because everything is blowing dirt. And this dog of ours, he's a really good dog, but since this dust storm, has he ever been tracking? He doesn't go any further than the hallway out here, but I'm forever mopping up that floor in the hallway because he tracks. But then, that can't be helped, I guess. And Dad plays with the dog, and he'll say, just wait till Scotty comes, champ. You'll be a real good friend of his, won't you?
Hi, Jan, Larry, Scotty, and Kim. Just got home from school a little while ago, and then I got my silver certificate and went down and sold them. Last night in the paper I read where this guy was buying silver certificates at top price. So I called him, he told me he'd give me $1.34 for them, which is about the highest price I've heard yet. I went to the coin shop the other day, and they told me that they'd give me $1.20 for them, and they said the highest they'd probably go would be $1.30. So I sold them to this guy, and I made about $5 or $6 clear on just selling about 17 of them. I think on the last tape you sent that you said you had about 50 of them. So I figured it out, and you'd come about $18 clear. If you'd like to send them down here, you can send it by register mail, I think, and then I can cash them in for you and save the money until you guys come down this summer. Wait. Well, game 2, and we're in the regional tournaments now. We have to win tonight. We play Central. And we have to win tonight to be able to get in state. And then after our game, and then it's Grafton and Red River, and then the winner of that one plays winner of ours to see who goes first in state and second in state in this region. So tonight we play a pretty important game. I better say goodbye for now. I'll talk some more after the game tonight, and I'll tell you what happened, how it finished. Bye for now. Hi, Jan, Larry, Scotty, and Kim. It's about 7:45 right now. Ralph's will be picking me up any minute now. Just thought I'd tell you about our game last night. Played Central last night, and we beat them by 2 points. The score was 50-52. It kept going to one side or the other. It was really some game. And then Grafton played Red River, and Red River beat them by about 20. So tonight we're in the finals with Red River. See who wins. So goodbye for now. I better say bye.
Good morning. Here it is. Friday morning, March 1st. Seems like February really went by fast. It's a real nice day out today. In fact, I looked out of the hall when it was raining a little bit. Temperature is about 35 above, so that's about the warmest we've had for just a real long time. Don just left for school, and I just thought I'd say a few words on this before I started my morning's work. Dad, Don, and I went to the basketball game last night at the field house. It was a real exciting game. St. James got the first 2 points, and then it just went back and forth, and finally St. James won. So it'll be nice for St. James to be in the finalists this year. I hope they can beat Red River now tonight. I talked to some of the sisters at the game, and they sit there so still and they don't yell or cheer like the rest of the people. And I was talking to Sister John Mary, and she said that she was just she's just busting inside. She just couldn't hardly stand it. She was so afraid we're going to lose. Barbara and Hillard's son John, you remember him, Jan? Well, he's one of the main players this year. He's a senior now. And then there's Gary Olafson. That's Roger Olafson's brother. He's also one of the main players. Well, it's now around noon. Dad went over to Joe's about 9 o'clock to help him with that bathroom wall. And I covered my ironing board. Sure needed a new cover, I'll tell you. And then I got the vacuum out and tried to get some of that dirt on the windows. I took 3 windows out and washed them on the bottom. And they look a little better. At least you can see out the windows now. I'll just have to leave the rest of it until we house clean, I guess. I went out and got the mail a little while ago. I didn't get too much except paper. Then I got a letter from the Department of Agriculture. It's for a homemaker lesson I'm to take on April 1st. It's a project lesson on home management, on new carpets on the market. Well, I'm not in the market for a new carpet this year, but I'll have to take the lesson anyway. It should be kind of interesting. The lessons now used to be until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but now they give them from 9 a.m. until noon, which is much better. You don't have to go back in the afternoon. When Dad gets home now at between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, I'll go to town and pick up the kids at school. Well, here it is, Saturday afternoon. Kind of a nice day out. At least the sun is shining. Don just went outside. He said he's going out hunting in the trees. It's kind of quiet for him around here because neither Vernon or Larry are home. So there's not much of anything for him to do. I just beat him a game of demon. I tried to make him say that he was kind of proud of his mother for winning a game, but he didn't think it was too funny, so he wouldn't say anything. Ed and Ralph and Frank are over here playing cards with Dad. They've started to play dimes now, so quite often they play dimes. That's what they're playing right now. I stood and watched for a while. It's more interesting than the other games they played. Well, I think I'm just about at the end of this tape.
Bait in the hallway is feeling very nice day out here today. But I suppose one of these days I'll go back to work. Don and Vernon are out mucking around trying to pull their old car in. Donnie's excited because he's got his license now.
Larry, what could have been here?
Saturday, Bert had some of those hockey tickets we had the other year when we went. So, University won that game anyway down there, played Duluth. So, I'll have to say hi to Scotty. Kind of nice to hear him on them tapes. Kind of anxious for him to get here now. I won't be able to hold him like I did before and fall asleep. Well, tomorrow morning we'll start painting the living room and get that done again. So I guess I never have too much to say, so I'll just close for now.
Hello, everyone. This is, today is Monday, March 4th, and we got your tape today. Dad and I went to town this morning. We went over to the economy and got some paint, and we went around by the mailbox and picked up the mail before we went to town. And I guess I really hit the jackpot today. I'm all out of breath. I just came from down in the basement. I was washing a pair of trousers of Donald's, and I ran down there and put them in the dryer, so that's why I'm all out of breath. But anyway, we got a letter. We got your tape, and I just could hardly wait to get home to play it. And we got a letter from Jean, and a letter from Grandpa Mimi. Then I got a letter from Sister Mary Ellen. So I really got a lot of mail. We really enjoy tapes. It's a nice way to get a lot of news. And Scotty talks so good on this. He really says his words clear, and he talks a lot. I just can hardly wait to see him and Kimmy. And Kimmy, little darling little Kimmy, got a tooth. I was just thrilled to death when you said she had got her tooth, because, well, that's really something, to get your first tooth. I can almost see Scotty outside, playing outside in that little red snowsuit and running around. It's I'm sure glad you have a nice big yard, so he isn't too, cooped up. I bet Kimmy likes it outside in the buggy too. It's nice that she can get out. Our weather has been just really beautiful here especially the last couple of days. Yesterday and today it was, I think, above 40. So our snow is going fast. I hope we don't get a March storm now and spoil it all, because we really had a nice winter and very little snow, and we had that cold weather for 1 week, but we really didn't have any bad storms. When we went to the economy and got this paint, we got it at the economy because I didn't want to go way down to Ireland, and the economy is just so handy to run into if you need more paint or anything. So we went over there and got it. And when I asked for French beige, they didn't even know what it was, and so they fixed some beige for us. But when we got home, it was way too light. Wasn't much different than white. So I went all the way back to town and had him mix it over darker. It's a little bit lighter now than what we have on, but that's okay. I'd rather have it lighter than darker. Donald just got back from the airport. We sent him over there to get a Herald, because we don't get a paper on Monday. This is the first time he's taken the car alone on the highway, so it's quite a deal. Not that he hasn't wanted to take it. He's been coaxing to let him take the car alone, but I still think he's kind of young yet to drive alone. Maybe after we get used to the idea, then we'll let him have it. But right now, either Dad or I go with him when he drives. He generally always drives while I'm with him, but take it alone right now, I just don't think it's too good an idea. I called the university housing this afternoon, Jan, and asked about if you could have your washer and dryer in one of the housing units out there. This lady told me that you could have the washer and dryer in the all those tin huts, but then you don't want those tin huts. And then in those sixplex, that's where Pat Ann lived, there's a basement in those, and you can have your washer and dryer there. But she said it's quite hard to get in that unit. They generally reserve those for the faculty, or else people with quite a few children. I don't know, they must figure that they're a little bit larger, I guess. She said in the new housing out there, there's absolutely no room for a washer and dryer. You couldn't hook it up anyway, because they have a something like a laundromat in this unit. And the same way in the I think you call it the eightplex. Well, they don't have any basements. And she said that there's a washer and dryer for each unit, not for each person, but for each group of houses, I suppose you'd say. And they're coin operated. She said, she didn't tell me how much, but she said you use a coin for the wash machine, and then the drying is free. So I just couldn't tell you whether it'd be best to bring it or not. Maybe if you got a good price for it, probably be the best to sell it. Maybe, I don't know. But if you do bring it and couldn't get to use it, you could always store it at our place if you'd want to do that. Because maybe later on you could get into those sixplexes, and then you could use your own washer and dryer. Grandpa and Mimi both wrote to us. They didn't write too long a letter, but I was glad to hear from both of them. Mimi said she was up and around now, and she's getting her strength back a little bit better. But they both have been having quite a time. They were going to try and come this summer, that is, if they got feeling well enough to come. They said they couldn't come until June, but then that'd be all right too. I got a letter from Blanche one day last week. She said she didn't think that they'd be coming down this way this summer. So maybe if Grandpa and maybe decide to come, they could either come on the plane, or if they're well enough, they could come on the train. So I hope they're be feeling well enough to come. It'll give them something to do besides just stay there in the house. They don't really feel right now like getting out too much, and they always seem to get along good while they're here. Jean wrote to us last Saturday morning. She said that Larry was on alert. He had went on alert on Friday, so she was over at Rick's babysitting. She had come over there about 9 o'clock Friday morning, and she figured that they'd be back home by, I think it was, she thought they'd be back home sometime on Monday. She said these people have a real nice colored television, so she was enjoying that, except on Saturday the children had cartoons on. She said she was just about crazy listening to those cartoons. And when she wrote, she said there's still one more hour of those cartoons on. She'd be glad when they're done. And Jean said that they had received a real nice letter from you both this week. I suppose that would be last week. And she said she was going to write to you now. She's really been busy with that, I don't know what you call it, the play she's in, I guess. She said that they did this cha-cha dance on the television. They were on the noonday program in colored television. And she said everybody that saw it said they looked good. She said Larry's giving her a bad time now. He's calling her his TV star. She says, I'd really like to see that dance she did. She's really been practicing for it a long time, and I bet it'd be good. I just don't know what they're dancing for. I think it must be some kind of a officers' wives program or something, maybe. You mentioned something about joining a bowling league with Janice. I think that'd be real nice. Ginny bowls with some of the ladies too, one morning a week, and she really enjoys it. You said a lot of your friends over there had signed up for 2 more years to stay in London, or in England rather. I'm sure glad you did. I'm sure glad you folks did sign up for 2 more years. That's just quite a while. I just can hardly wait till August to have you come back, and to think of 2 more years over there. Oh man.
Hi Jan, Larry, Scotty, and Kim. Better day. Today is Monday, and last Saturday we played, last Friday, we played a game with Red River, and we beat them by 1 point. It's really some game because there's only 20 seconds left, and one of our guys made a point, so we made bass, so we won by 1 point, and so we're number 1 in the region, and Red River ended up number 2 in the region. We're behind all through the game. So, and then in the north, let's see, it'd be the western part of the state region, in the state,
It's Bismarck and
Bismarck St. Mary's, so we'll play the number 2 team, so we'll be playing Bismarck St. Mary's in our first game in state. And if we win our game, and then next we'll probably be playing Williston, and they're rated above us, number 2 in the state, and they're supposed to have a pretty good chance of winning it. So if we win our first game, we'll really have a tough game ahead of us. I don't know if Mom mentioned this to you, but I didn't. I don't think. A couple of weeks ago, I got my driver's test. I passed my driver's test. So I took my driven part. I passed the written part, then I had to take driven part, and I did all right in that. So I got my license now. I didn't really get my main license. It's just deal that they score you on. If you pass it, they put a check on the bottom of this paper on a certain spot, and it's as good as a license for 30 days, or until you get your own license. Today after school, I went out to get my car. It's out in the field right now. Just put out there for the winter, and I went out to try to get in. I got the tractor out and gonna get in, but we couldn't because there's too much snow. I was gonna start working on it and get it all ready for the summertime, I need a lot of things done to it. Nothing that really costs anything, because I got points for it, and all I have to do is put them in, and I had to fix the glove compartment and the trunk and a couple things like that. And I have a muffler for it. All I have to do is put it on and get a couple pipes for it, so really it won't cost that much. But I went out there and couldn't even get the tractor out there. There's too many snowbanks all around still. There's a bunch. When we got a storm, the first storm we got, just a great big snowbank in front of the shed, so they took all the snow and piled it up, and it leads out to the field, so it's all blocked in, so I have to wait till almost all the snow is melted till I can even get a chance to get my car out of there. So it'll probably be quite a long time. Didn't do too much this weekend. Sunday afternoon I went bowling, and my scores, we played 4 games. My scores was 90, 132, and I got 127. In my last game I got 135. That's about the highest I ever got. I heard in your tape that you're going to join the league or something. It would be nice. Well, I better go for now. Bye for now.
Jan, the next time I go uptown, I'll look around and see if I can find any of those patches for those slacks that you wanted. I know exactly what you mean, and they may have them with animals, padded animals or something. I'll look and see. Maybe I'll look in the catalog first and see if they do show any there. And maybe Griffiths or Norby's may have some. Anytime you want me to look for anything, don't hesitate to ask me, because either for the kids or for you two, because I love to shop, and I do have the time to do it. At least I go in every second day, because I pick up the children at school, and I can just go a little bit earlier. I especially like looking for things for the kids, so I can hardly wait till they get here to go shopping with them. Don wants me to make him some cookies, so I think I better get at it. He just loves those Chinese noodle cookies. You melt a package of chocolate chips and a package of butterscotch chips in a double boiler, then add 2 cups of chow mein noodles and some salted peanuts, and then drop them on on some wax paper, and when they're cold, they make a pretty good cookie. You have to keep them in the refrigerator so the chocolate don't melt. Gotti, when you get here, you have to, and Kimmy too, you'll have to let Grandma know what kind of cookies is your favorite, and I'll have to whip up a batch of cookies for you real often. Well, I'll finish this tape now and then mail it when I go after the school children this afternoon. Tuesday morning, Donald just left for school, and Dad's painting the ceiling in the living room. He got an early start this morning on his painting, so should get the living room done anyway. Our weather isn't too bad this morning. The temperature is 30 above, which isn't too bad for this time of the year. We'll be thinking and praying for you, Larry, after the March 26th, when you go to London for those 2 weeks. I hope everything turns out for you all right, and the treatments won't be too bad, and I hope you'll be able to go to London with Larry next Friday, Jan. A day and a half off, and if you get that lady to take care of the children, I'm sure you wouldn't worry about them. So I hope everything is okay. Well, I'll say goodbye for now. I guess this is about the end of this tape. Well, goodbye, darling little Scotty and Kim. We love you very, very much, and we enjoy hearing you talk on the tape. It's just the most thrilling thing. We just can hardly wait to see you both. So